Hastings, Nebraska. We present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports as we get your day started here. It is a Tuesday, the 28th day of January for 2025. We'll be talking a lot today. Coaching change down to Nebraska as far as volleyball is concerned. We'll tell you about that coming up. The contracts are out for some of the new Husker football coaches. We'll find out how much cash they're going to be making for the upcoming season. The Centennial Conference Basketball Tournament and the Central Conference Basketball Tournaments got underway last night. We'll have the results, get you set for some quarterfinal action coming up tonight. We're going to have some high school basketball as well here on Extreme Sports from Adams Central tonight in the Central Conference Tournament. The new basketball polls are out. There was an upset in the top five last night as far as the men are concerned. So lots to talk about here today as we get you up and get you started here on this Tuesday morning as we welcome in Tyson from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning to you, Mike, as we wake up and get rolling here today. As far as the news front is concerned, we'll dive into what's going on over at the Nebraska legislature. Also, the city council meeting last night. City councilman having to apologize after comments that he made earlier this month at a council work session. And a fire danger yesterday. We were warned from Tim on the weather front that there was a fire danger. Well, yesterday the Juniata Volunteer Fire Department called into action. So we'll get to all those stories and more coming up here on this show. But excited to get rolling here for a Tuesday morning.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, no matter where you are today, whether you're listening online at our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone on your way to work or school this morning with our free mobile app, smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. We've got it all. We got cameras set up so you can actually watch us do our thing here today if you're able to do that. And certainly leave us a message, a comment on anything that we're discussing, anything that you want us to bring up on the show today, or anything on your mind, sports-related or not. Drop us a message. Tyson will monitor the comments on the social media sites. Better yet, give us a call. Always love chatting with you. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. I guess we'll begin with the coaching change in Nebraska. Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook announced yesterday that assistant coach Jordan Larson has decided to step away from her role with the program after 2 seasons. She joined the Husker coaching staff full-time in June of 2023, balancing her role as an assistant coach with commitments to the Olympics and her professional playing career. So after 2 seasons, she's had enough of that. After the 2 seasons, she helped guide the team to a 66-5 record, 2 NCAA Final Four appearances, including the 2023 NCAA Final and the 2024 semifinals. So Jordan Larson, after 2 seasons with the Huskers, stepping away from the program, probably to concentrate more on her professional playing career. She's playing volleyball professionally now, and of course just coming off of the Olympics, so her plate was full, so to speak. Her plate was full, and she's a step away from the program.
That's a lot going on right there. You're trying to balance not only playing for your country, but playing a professional volleyball career as well with the start of the Professional Volleyball League. So certainly a lot to balance, a lot to concentrate on, and probably some added stressors that when you take a look back and realize that the program's in pretty good hands as is. You can confidently step away from there and focus on a professional career, but always one of the icons, right? For Nebraska volleyball, always will be, and certainly she'll be missed. But we look forward to continuing to see her with her professional career and as she continues to play for the red, white, and blue.
Upset last night in men's college basketball. I don't know if you caught this, but Caleb Love for Arizona. He threw in a shot from beyond half court last night at the end of regulation to tie the game with third-ranked Iowa State. He made 2 more three-pointers in the overtime session as Arizona upset third-ranked Iowa State last night, winning by a score of 86-75. Love finished with 22 points. His shot from beyond half court is being circulated. You can see it on the social media sites this morning. But Caleb Love threw in a prayer at the end of regulation to tie the score, and then hit a couple of threes in the overtime session as Arizona shocks the third-ranked Iowa State Cyclones last night, 86-75.
There you go. Big upset in Big 12 hoops as they continue to play topsy-turvy. You know, we talked to Ryan Martin yesterday on the show. He called in, and we got a little bit of Big 12 basketball insight in terms of, Houston being the real deal, Kansas getting an opportunity for the rematch, but the Cyclones go down last night in top 25 play. That was a later start. I think that tipped off at 8 o'clock.
You didn't see it?
Yeah, so I did not get to see it before I snoozed for the evening, but Iowa State falling and more upheaval in the top 25. I think Auburn is still ranked number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got the polls coming up here.
Yep, polls are coming up. So Auburn, I think, still ranked number 1, and Duke slides
is second.
into 2. Yep.
Iowa State was third. Probably not going to be third, but it came out next week. Alabama and Florida also in the top 5, so that's what's going on there. By the way, Caleb Love finished with 22 points in the ball game last night, including his great performance to get the Arizona squad into the overtime session. They go on to beat Iowa State last night, 86-75. Had some high school basketball last night. We'll tell you about that, high school basketball with the Centennial Conference and the Central Conference basketball tournaments getting started last night. What is going on with Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat guy?
Walked out of a shoot-around. And the team said,
"You're done."
It feels like an Antonio Brown situation, doesn't it? Prima donna, just wants the attention, wants the cameras and stories and headlines to focus on him.
Well, he wants
walks out of a shoot-around.
Yeah, he wants to be traded, I guess.
Okay, is that
from the
deal?
Miami Heat?
Yep.
He wants to be traded.
Doesn't want to play no more.
Yeah, he's just being I don't know what he's trying to do. Anyway, the Heat have suspended Butler without pay now for an indefinite period of time after he walked out of the morning shoot-around yesterday. Third time that Butler has been suspended by the Heat in recent weeks.
Good God.
And it comes as he was expected to return from his second suspension last night against the Orlando Magic. The Heat said the latest suspension will last at least 5 games and will take it through the NBA trading deadline February 6th. Butler missed 9 of Miami's previous 12 games because of the prior suspensions. The first one, which was 7 games due to conduct that the Heat deemed detrimental to the team. Well, after Butler returned for 3 games, the Heat suspended him again for 2 games after he missed a team flight to Milwaukee last week. So he was set to return again last night. He walked out of the morning shoot-around yesterday, so they suspended him again. Yeah. He's facing losing $532,737 per game under his latest suspension. He's going to be gone for a while. His third suspension is costing him over $500,000 per game because they suspended him without pay for walking out of the morning shoot-around yesterday.
I'd say trade his ass, but at this point, who wants him?
Yeah, who's going to take him?
Who wants a player like that? Who wants a player that has been suspended 3 times because they don't like where the direction is going and they don't want to play and their attitude sucks? I wouldn't say that you wouldn't be able to find anything for him, and at this point, no NBA team would want that. And so you're approaching the trade deadline thinking, okay, well, we got to get rid of this cancer that's on the team. And then everyone else is like, no, you're good.
You're stuck with him.
Good luck with that.
You're stuck with him. Yeah.
So
Say that's just something that popped up this morning.
I did see that yesterday.
$532,737 per game he's giving up.
Mm.
All right, I don't think my account could take a hit like that.
I think Jimmy Butler will be okay. I think missing a few games here and there is gonna not really gonna make a
hurt
dent
his wallet
in the overall grand scheme of things. Speaking of money and dollars and cents, I saw Butler's contract was released yesterday on the defensive coordinator side of things.
Oh, Nebraska, yeah, Nebraska contracts. Some of the Husker football coaches' contracts have been released. John Butler gonna make $1 million a season starting next year. He was making $700,000 as the secondary coach. Of course, he was promoted to the defensive coordinator at the end of last season. So his new contract will pay him $1 million per season. That's actually a savings of $600,000 that we were paying Tony White, who previously had the job. He was making $1.6 million. So, yeah, we're saving $600,000. And John Butler, with the new defensive coordinator's position, he's going to receive a substantial raise himself. Let's see, new secondary coach, Addison Williams. He's going to make $625,000 in 2025. Wide receivers coach DeKeel Shorts, who they brought in from Kentucky, he's going to make $400,000 next year. Outside linebackers coach Phil Simpson will make $350,000. Associate head coach Phil Snow, they got him listed at $400,000. Obviously, he doesn't need the money. He's been around for a while. He just says, "Hey, just let me coach for a while. You know, kind of pay what I need to live on, $400,000."
Mm-hmm.
The contract for defensive line coach Terry Bratton is not known yet as he continues to work for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's the defensive lines coach, or the assistant defensive lines coach for the Chiefs, and obviously he's not with the team yet as he prepares his team to play in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. So those are the latest contracts for some of the new coaches that we brought in. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of money, but I told you yesterday the defensive coordinator for Ohio State just reached an agreement to go to Penn State for over $3 million a year. So wow. That sounds like a lot of money we're paying these guys, but hey, look at the upper tier. Look at the upper tier of the echelon. Ohio State and Penn State paying their guys like $3 million as an assistant coach.
When I was reading yesterday on social media, it doesn't sound like that was really a mutual thing. It was more of Ohio State didn't have the money. Ohio State didn't have the funds to be able to keep him, and he went back to Ohio State. Said Penn State reached out with X, and what can you do? And they said, well, we can't do that. Ohio State's got some financial issues. I was reading about that yesterday, so it was kind of interesting to see how that will all unfold with NIL and with everything that they've got coming up as far as the offseason is concerned. But Penn State was able to write the check that swayed the defensive coordinator over. So
yeah, he was making like 2.7 or $2.6 million at Ohio State. Penn State offered this guy like $3.1 or $3.2 million, and Ohio State couldn't come up with the funds, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, couldn't come up with the money. Said, wow. All right, well, best of luck, I guess. So yeah, tough sledding there. You talk about Phil Snow, and you're like, was it $400,000?
Yeah.
Being a livable salary, and I was thinking over here, I'm like, $400,000 would put me in a completely different stratosphere, livable. Livable
well,
salary.
compared to everybody else, he's supposed to be the associate head coach, and he's making $400,000 per year. Of course, he's an older guy, probably been around, and he's got a savings account.
I just laugh when you say $400,000, like you act like it's a pay cut, because I'm over there like, man,
I don't know what he's been doing.
What would I do with $400,000?
Well, I don't know what he's been doing.
Just the associate head coach.
Well, he hasn't been
another set of eyeballs.
Yeah, I know what he's going to be doing at Nebraska, but
Right.
He hasn't been doing much here the last couple of years.
I'm curious to see if you want to put another set of eyeballs on a football team. Give me a call.
No, I've seen your eyeballs.
They work.
They're tainted sometimes.
They don't.
You have tainted eyeballs.
Run the damn ball.
Yeah, it's pretty
Tainted-
simple for Nebraska.
Tainted eyeballs? Run the damn ball.
That's all you got to do. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just some of the contracts that were out.
There you go. Sports story yesterday. Went
Yeah.
bowling for the first time in about 20 years.
You
yesterday.
went bowling?
Yeah, I did a bowling activity yesterday. Went out with the First Street crew, and we had
You
a
went bowling?
I went bowling. You want to know how it went?
How'd you do?
You want to take a guess?
Who you went out there with?
The First Street crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first game, struggling start. Wasn't good. Was a little nervous. A lot of people were watching. Bowled a sub 100. It was 85.
You bowled an 85.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. It was bad. Picked things up in game 2. I had 2 doubles in the round of 10, and ended up with like a 165.
Ooh.
So like doubled my score from the previous round. I think yeah, it was a
You
good
only
time.
played 2 games?
Just 2 games. We had an hour. We had
You're
an hour.
supposed
There was there was a high school event. I think Hastings was in a duel with Lexington.
Oh, God. And you went out there amongst all that?
Yeah, and the college was also in practice.
Oh, no.
And so we waited patiently for a lane to open up, and we finally got 2 to open up around 7. And so we bowled for an hour, and it was a great time. But it was fun when I walked in, because again Hastings and Lexington were in a duel, and I walked in right as the crowd started screaming, and so naturally I made a scene, and I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, as I was walking through the crowd, and
You thought they were screaming that
I
you
thought they were
showed up?
screaming, woohoo!
Tyson's here. He's your bowl.
They're like, who?
What intrigued you? What pushed you to grab a bowling ball for the first time in 20 years?
I was invited.
All of a sudden, you guys are sitting down at First Street and you say, hey, let's go bowling tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it happened a couple weeks ago. They were wanting to put together a holiday party, and they're like, well, what do we do? We're closed on Monday. And then, they came with the idea of let's go bowling. It was a good time. There's a golf simulator, by the way, in the bowling alley bar.
Yeah.
That I aim to participate in
In the future?
soon. Yeah. Yeah, we heard the IT guys got a golf simulator, so I'm waiting to pick up some tee times here before the season gets going. But the new digs, the new arcades, the new area in what was formerly Illusions, it's pretty sweet. They did a hell of a job in from what I'm told, a very short amount of time.
They did a little remodeling job at the bowling alley.
Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't been in a minute, stop into Pastime. It's a good time.
All right, so
Good way.
are you going to launch maybe a career now in bowling, or is it just a once in a lifetime deal? You're gonna...
I don't know. I've never. I think anything above 150 is a stratosphere that I've never hit before, and I know the max game is a 300.
Yeah, 300.
I know Marcus Metcalf.
Marcus, guy,
he's a hell of a bowler. I'm not. I just kind of grab the heaviest ball possible and hurl it down at max force, hoping to hit something. That's my strategy.
I used to bowl
Did you really?
a long time ago. God, I don't even know. It had to be back in the 80s.
Wow.
Back in
That
the
is a long
80s, I bowled on a bowling team.
No
Actually,
kidding.
I actually worked for a radio station that had some fun.
Yeah.
The guys at the radio station actually had some fun, and we had a bowling team. Forgot what night we bowled on, like Thursday night or something. No, Wednesday night. Wednesday night we bowled early league, which was not good. Yeah, we got done bowling at about 8:30.
Well, then what do you do?
Yeah, then what do you do?
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that was not good. But we had some good times. I used to bowl. I don't think I was very good, but nobody on our team was very good.
You just had fun.
Yeah, we just had fun.
That's
That was
kinda
back when I worked for a radio station that had some fun.
Yeah, back in the glory days when
back in the glory
when
days.
that used to be okay.
Yeah.
we had a kilowatt softball team.
Oh yeah,
I think I even invited you to participate, and you said I can't run around the bases.
I did play. I played softball at one
You
time.
came in for a couple games, if I'm not mistaken.
You played on, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think you started anything.
No, I'm not gonna like run the outfield.
No, but I think you came and you provided some help on the bench, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe grabbed a few beers and had some moral support for us. Yeah.
Oh, those were the days.
We
yeah,
sucked. We sucked, but
we sucked.
it was fun.
So did our bowling team. It sucked too,
Yeah,
but we had fun.
that's right.
Anyway.
Getting back to the fun. I love it.
All right, 7:20. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Huddle Up Extreme Sports. Again, leave us a message. Lots of folks joining us here in the room. Leave us a message. Anything on your mind here today, sports related or not. Better yet, give us a call. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to discuss something here. 402-834-1330. Yeah, maybe what you did back 20 years ago, involved in a team sport that you sucked as bad as we did in bowling and softball.
A sport you played that you sucked, but it was fun. It was fun. That sounds like my golf game. That sounds like my bowling game. That sounds like my softball game.
Yeah,
that sounds like my baseball game.
Are you good at like anything?
Wow.
I
That's
mean,
a loaded question.
I mean, are you good? I know you're not good at softball. You used to be.
I'm good at softball.
You've had some.
I can't hit, but I can pitch.
You've had some good moments on the golf course, but I wouldn't call you good.
I would say good shots. Then the golf game's always one of those, right? Like you hit one shot, and you're like, okay, I can come back. I can play.
And then you doink one over in the driving range.
You hit a tree.
Yeah.
You hit a tree and it rolls backwards 5 feet. Yep, that's my golf game. One step forward, 20 steps back.
I've golfed with you before.
It's a good time.
Yeah, we're not a very good twosome.
No.
Because
No.
we have no leader. We have no leader between you and me.
That's why you golf with Shane. I golf with Gino.
Yeah.
And together we can finish 18 holes without killing each other.
Respectable.
Yeah. Respectable finishes.
Yeah, you always want to team up with somebody that's a lot better than you because it makes you look better.
I just want to team up with somebody that can hit it in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, then you get out there and you drop your ball.
Exactly.
You want to be in a scramble with somebody that's good. So you don't care where your ball goes, but you're going to go up there and drop it where your partner goes.
That's right.
Right out in the middle of the fairway or 4 inches from the cup, and then you might knock home a putt. Could knock home a putt, and you look good.
Could knock home a putt and it's funny, like you golf with Gino, and the putt has turned into this just old man fishing story, right? Where it just gets grander and grander and grander and grander as the story gets told. You flash back like 10 years ago when we were in Blue Hill, and knocked in. It couldn't have been a 4-foot putt. I mean, it was not very long. But as the story continues to get told by Gino, next thing I know, it's a 40-foot putt with a double break, and it was a driving wind and like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And it was like, oh, the greatest putt ever. I think it was for par, to save par. Gino tells it like it was a double eagle. The way he goes into this grand story. So
that's like fishing stories.
Yeah,
that's like fishing stories.
Love those.
I caught this big old fish. That sucker had to be at least 18 inches long. Well, in reality, it was like a 4-inch bluegill, a 4-inch bluegill. But as the story is told 20 years later, it was next thing to a shark.
Things people did that they sucked at, but it was fun. Eric Williams, group of us, decided to get into a basketball league. Suck at basketball, and now I tell people I don't play basketball because the last time I did started a pandemic. So we got that. Chief Indoor, softball for me, absolutely terrible. It was always fun. I learned much better as a pit crew member / chief. Tires and sodas for the chief. And so, yeah, things that people suck at, but it's still a lot of fun. Softball is it's probably my top. Co-ed softball was a blast. I loved putting it on. I hated managing. And I was always kind of put into the leadership role. Like, you organize, you facilitate. And it was always me managing and trying to find a sub always
Oh, that
calling
sucks.
people at the last minute, and I'm just like, can we just all show up and have a good time?
Yeah, that sucks. Call
But my
somebody at the
favorite-
last second.
My favorite thing about the softball jersey was the softball jersey that I had printed for me. I was number one, not because of an ego or anything like that, but I put my last name as Moore, so that when we went out to the pub
Oh, one
or when we
more.
went out to the bar afterwards, I was always one more.
Oh, God.
One more round.
Imagine that.
Shocker, huh?
Imagine that. Anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Drop us a message if you'd like. We'll get through this morning as we join you at the breakfast table. 7:25 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where since 1946, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been a part of the Hastings community and its community that is at the heart of everything they do. As a nonprofit financial cooperative, the credit union is owned by the members who join, and joining, well, it's as simple as opening a primary savings account. Get from point A to point B and everywhere in between with a low-rate vehicle loan. Whether you're committed to camping or love living the lake life, you can count on the credit union to finance your next big toy. They even do personal loans for life's little curveballs. So with the affordable low rates, convenient repayment options, and a friendly local staff that knows you by name, you can see for yourself what the credit union difference is all about. That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online at hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We start off this morning at the City Council meeting where yesterday, Hastings City Councilman Larry Consbrook apologized for making racially insensitive comments during the City Council work session last week. During a discussion on the city's proposed comprehensive plan about wages and affordable housing, Consbrook implied that the Hastings residents of Hispanic race were partially to fault for the city's median income. It was called out on social media, and yesterday, Consbrook apologizing for those comments. The Juniata Volunteer Fire Department responded to a grass fire yesterday afternoon. The fire located near 42nd Street and Prosser Avenue. After battling strong winds, which led to a fire danger yesterday, the fire was extinguished after about 2 hours with no reports of any damage. And the Nebraska Library Commission has recently awarded Nebraska Library internship grants totaling $20,000 to 16 Nebraska public libraries. These internship grants will support public library interns who contribute to the scope and value of the diverse programs and activities in Nebraska public libraries. Of the 16 libraries, 2 are local that will receive funding, with Shelton and Gibbon both making the list. It's now coming up on 7:29. We'll spin things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike Will, what's going down in sports?
Well, Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook, as we mentioned, has announced that assistant coach Jordan Larson has decided to step away from her role with the program after 2 seasons. Larson joined the Huskers coaching staff full-time in June of 2023, balancing her role as an assistant coach with commitments to the Olympics and her professional playing career. During her 2 seasons with the Huskers, Larson helped guide the team to a 66-5 record and 2 NCAA Final Four appearances, including the 2023 NCAA Final and the 2024 semifinals. Contracts for some of the new Husker football coaches have been released. Defensive coordinator John Butler will make $1 million next season. He was paid $700,000 last year as the Huskers' secondary coach. He takes over for Tony White, who is making $1.6 million. New secondary coach Addison Williams will make $625,000 in 2025. Wide receivers coach Nikhil Shorts will make $400,000 this season. Outside linebackers coach Phil Simpson will make $350,000 this year. Associate head coach Phil Snow will make $400,000. The contract for defensive line coach Terry Bratton is not known yet as he continues to work for the Kansas City Chiefs. In the Centennial Conference basketball tournament last night, Kearney Catholic girls beat Lincoln Lutheran 52-23, and Archbishop Bergen defeated Omaha Concordia 54-43. Tonight, Bergen is at top-seeded Lincoln Christian. St. Cecilia is at Aquinas. Newman plays at Grand Island Central Catholic, and Kearney Catholic is at Scotus. On the boys' side, Archbishop Bergen beat St. Cecilia last night 69-32. Lincoln Christian defeated Kearney Catholic 57-24, and Bishop Newman knocked off Aquinas 73-44. In the quarterfinals tonight, Newman is at Grand Island Central Catholic, Boys Town is at Scotus, Bergen is at Omaha Concordia, and Lincoln Christian will play at Lincoln Lutheran. The Central Conference Tournament also got underway last night. On the girls' side, Columbus Lakeview beat Lexington, so the Vikings will move on to play at top-seeded York tonight. In the other games, Crete is at Adams Central, Aurora is at Northwest, and Schuyler is at Seward. On the boys' side, Lexington beat Schuyler 76-48 last night. The Minutemen will play at top-seeded Aurora tonight. In the other games, Seward is at Northwest, Lakeview is at Adams Central, and York is at Crete. We'll have the Adams Central games for you tonight. Here on Extreme Sports, coverage will begin at 5:15 this afternoon. Auburn is still ranked number 1 in the latest AP Men's College Basketball poll. The Tigers are 18-1 in the season. Duke is second, followed by Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Rounding out the top 10 are Houston, Michigan State, Tennessee, Marquette, and Purdue. UCLA is ranked number 1 in the women's poll. The Bruins are 20-0 on the season. South Carolina is second, followed by Notre Dame, USC, and Texas. Again, in men's college basketball last night, Caleb Love hit a game-tying heave from beyond half court at the end of regulation and made 2 more three-pointers in overtime as Arizona upset third-ranked Iowa State 86-75. Love finished the game with 22 points. That's a check on your sports headlines. 7:32 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
The nicest day of the week is on the way today on Tuesday, but the trade-off will be some wind. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV here. 58 is the high today. Plenty of sunshine, but we will have westerly winds gusting into the mid-20s today. Overnight tonight, 25 will be the low, mostly clear skies. 52 and sunny on Wednesday. As we get to the later in the week, Thursday will bring in a chance for rain, but we still stay in the 50s as we head into the weekend.
As you wake up, get going this morning, we've got west winds at 8 miles per hour. It is 26 this morning at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Havronik with you on this Tuesday morning. It is now 7:36. As I get you up, get you going. Again, 26 degrees as you head out the door this morning. Not too shabby. Highs today, Tim was mentioning, highs today in the 50s. We'll take it for the final day of January.
Yeah, roll out the beach towel, get some lotion. I'll be doing some sun tanning out in the backyard today. I don't know. Great weather here for the last Tuesday in January. Speaking of the last Tuesday in January, a couple of days to get to here today. We start first by putting your food at the breakfast table. A blueberry pancake day.
Oh, I like that.
So we can get involved in that. Also, it is my favorite instrument, the kazoo day today. Kazoo day is today for all of you kazoo lovers, and plan a vacation day.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Plan a vacation. Where would you go? Where would you plan a vacation to here on this last Tuesday?
It's got to be somewhere warm. Like if I'm going to take one like right now.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's why it's the last Tuesday in January, because everybody wants to get the hell out of winter and into a warmer climate.
Although, yeah, we talked last week, the snow they had down at Miami. Mm-hmm. Not Miami, but it was the northern part of Florida, New Orleans. They had snow down that way. In fact, a lot of it just last week, so can't go there.
Where would you go?
Oh, no doubt that I'd go my usual spot.
Would you go west?
Yeah.
Go west, down the strip?
But they're having chilly weather out there,
Viva
too.
Las Vegas.
Well, they're having chilly weather out there, too.
There you go.
People are whining because it's getting down into the 30s and 40s. I know a bunch of people out there. I know people that don't even have a coat. And they're whining because, oh, geez, it's getting cold at night.
Right, in the 40s.
It's getting down into the 40s.
Oh, those poor babies. Poor
so
babies.
National Plan a Vacation Day?
National Plan a Vacation Day today.
Where would you go?
Oh, across the pond. Like, I want to travel internationally. I want to do it. I want to go to Europe. I want to do the things. I want to go to the pubs. I want to go to like a as they call it across the pond in Europe, a football match, a proper football match. Watch a little soccer, and yeah.
See, I have no interest in going across the pond. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But I have no interest in going over and looking at old buildings.
It's always been on my bucket list. Always been on my bucket list.
See, once again, we don't jive.
We don't see eye to eye.
We don't see eye to eye on traveling across the pond.
And see, I get
There's
that
plenty
because
of places in the United States that I haven't seen before that I would like to see.
A big reason for me like going across the pond is to check out some of the old taverns and the old pubs. And I understand, like, and again, another thing that we don't jive at is our selection when we get to the taverns and pubs. I love the good old Hardy craft brew.
Yeah.
And you're a domestic brew fan. And that's fine.
Yeah, and I usually don't get out of my
you don't get out of the comfort zone.
My comfort zone of what I drink at those establishments.
That's fine. But you would love nothing about the pubs and the taverns across the pond if that's your MO.
I heard like in some places they serve like warm beer.
Yeah. Yeah,
no,
that exists.
I couldn't sit down on a bar stool and suck down a warm beer.
Well, that's because again, the beer that you're used to drinking would taste like crap warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's meant to be like a refreshing mow the lawn, crack open a beer, but others they've got a little bit more girth to them, a little bit more stout, and they're served warm.
Like the Irish bars, I think.
Germany in Oktoberfest.
Yeah, they serve
a
beer.
lot of warm beer. Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't interest me at all. I like a good time. I could probably suck down a few beers with them.
Yeah, I would say if I'm going on a vacation, planning one, it's probably the European tour. But we start in Dublin and then see where things go.
All right, so leave us a message. Leave us a message if you would. It's plan a vacation day. Where would you go? Where would you go if you had your ideal spot to go on vacation? Ideal spot. Where would you go? Drop us a message, Facebook Live or wherever you're listening to us this morning. Better yet, call us.
I'd settle to go back to St. Louis to go back to some Cardinal baseball games again.
Yeah, you do that about every summer, don't you?
They are 2 months away. As of yesterday, opening day, 2 months away. And as I sit here and I stare at my sports schedule and I go, oh my God, there's absolutely nothing on.
TV right now?
I anxiously await. This is the worst part of the year. And I say this is sports, quite literally sports hell. After we get done with the Super Bowl.
Well, number one, it started last night. No Monday night football game.
There was nothing. Yep, nothing. It was awful. It was trash.
My wife was quick to point out, even before we got done with supper last night, she was quick to point out, she told the dog, guess what, Raja? There's no Monday night football tonight.
So she got the TV.
She got the TV.
Yep. You were watching cop shows and lawyer shows.
Yep, that's what we did again. NCIS, we had 4 episodes of that on 2 different channels. That's what we watched last night in the Will household.
The NCIS.
NCIS, that television series. But it's on 2 different channels, so we had 4 episodes of it. By then, I was letting the dog outside, and hell, we were going to bed.
Lou Dog says he'd like to go to Arizona to do the spring training tour.
Oh, people do that.
Yep, I'd love that idea. Ryan's talking about a great day for getting a bowler's suntan in the backyard in January. Referencing the nice day that we're going to have. But yeah, sports hell. After the Super Bowl, we're in the thick of it till March, man. Pitchers and catchers, they'll report. They'll start up some spring training games. That'll give me a little bit of life back.
Well, you got the
in
basketball tournaments.
Yeah, but it's not till March.
Yeah, February kind of sucks.
February sucks. Other than, and I'll point out because I know it'll get addressed, ponies start up.
But that's kind of a local thing.
That'll get me at least a little bit of energy to get through the month of February. And then you get spring training that rolls around. But for the most part, I guess college softball season getting underway. That's a big deal.
That's about it. Baseball season, college baseball will get underway.
The IT man's quick to point out NASCAR, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah, NASCAR.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. NASCAR starts in a couple of weeks. We got Daytona 500, baby.
Isn't there a race before the Daytona?
Yeah, it used to be called the Busch Clash. I don't know if it's still called the Busch Clash or not. Who's sponsoring it? But that might be this weekend.
I have no idea.
This weekend I think it's this
You're supposed to bring the NASCAR intel to the show.
We will. We'll have a lot of NASCAR talk on this show.
I don't know about a lot. I don't know what I can bring to the conversation other than I remember him 5 years ago.
I think the Busch Clash or whatever that race is this weekend, and then the Super Bowl, and then the Daytona 500.
Was that the old Gatorade duels back in the day?
Yeah, they got the twin 125s.
Yeah.
That's qualifying for the Daytona 500. That's Daytona 500 week.
Okay.
That's like the Thursday of Daytona 500.
Hell, I don't know. I just know that NASCAR seems to always start the season with their Super Bowl.
Yep, which makes no sense to me. But
0 sense. Why is the Daytona 500 not the championship race? If you're going to put all of the eggs in the basket and go into a playoff system,
that makes no sense.
Shouldn't your Super Bowl be the classic race?
I don't know. NASCAR does a lot of strange things.
Yeah, well, their playoff system is the first one.
Yeah, and then they start their year with their biggest race of the year.
Yep.
Gets all the hype going, I guess.
There you go.
So that's what's coming up. There's that.
WCS again. Eric Williams chiming in on vacation. He wants to go to Oklahoma City to watch the Women's College World Series for softball. And Ryan says August is his least favorite month for sports.
Why?
Football starts up.
Football starts off in August.
Baseball is in like the heat of the competition.
Yeah, I start paying attention to it in August.
That's fair.
Well, it's like the NBA season. Has anybody paid attention to anything that's been going on in the NBA? I know we talked about Jimmy Butler at the start of the show, but does anybody know how teams are doing right now? Like, pull one out, the Lakers. How are the Lakers doing? No one knows.
Decent?
Are they?
He said with a question mark? Only because I occasionally check the standings, but...
Who are the best teams in the NBA right now?
Okay, Google, I'll tell you.
Well, see, you don't even know. You're a sports guy.
I don't.
Hell, I'm a sports guy, and hell, I don't know who is really walking away in the NBA.
Let's take a gander at the standings.
Yeah, who's leading the NBA right now? No one pays attention to the NBA until
there we go.
Maybe the playoffs.
Boston, New York, Cleveland.
They're all good?
They're all good. The top team in the Southeast is one game over 500, so that's bad. Everybody in the Southeast is apparently having a hell of a time with it. In the Western Conference, the Thunder are good.
All right.
The Nuggets are marginal at best. The Lakers are in that category, so it looks like it's the Thunder and the Rockets and the Grizzlies, and everybody else is chasing them.
See, no one pays attention. If you walked into a sports establishment, a sports bar, and say, hey, give me the top 5 teams right now in the NBA.
Nobody would be able to answer that question.
Not around here.
Nobody. I think we'd probably have Celtics, maybe, because we have a couple Celtics fans. You'd probably be able to hit the Knicks and maybe the Thunder. But
so is Boston doing good, did you say?
Yeah, Boston's doing good. Boston's in cruise control.
Just in case somebody asked me.
Yep.
I did have somebody text me yesterday. We were talking about Kansas City going for a three-peat in the Super Bowl. They said, hell, it's already been done twice. I said, what?
Huh?
The Packers, evidently.
Sure.
The Packers won the NFC. Remember when we used to play the NFC and AFC championship games? Back when, before the Super Bowl era started?
No, because that was before I was born.
Yeah, and then they didn't play each other.
Yeah.
You had an NFC champion, and you had an AFC champion, and then they didn't play each other. That was just the way their seasons ended. Well, back in 1929...
Oh, geez.
1929, 1930, and 1931, the Packers won 3 NFC championships.
Good for the Packers.
And then they did it again in 1965, 1966, and 1967. They won 3 NFC championships.
I don't consider anything
before the Super Bowl era
to be modern football record-wise.
No.
I don't.
And
I'm sorry.
And that's what I texted back to him. I said, that was before the Super Bowl era.
Yep.
They didn't even play. In fact, Buffalo, by the way, I know Buffalo won the AFC. Yeah, well, Buffalo won the AFC Championship game in one of those years.
We actually want to, but we don't claim it.
Well, it was sometime during that time that the Packers won the NFC, Buffalo won the AFC, and they didn't play each other. That was before they played off in the Super Bowl. So they said, "Hey, the Packers have done it twice." No, the Packers haven't done it twice.
They have not.
That was back before football was football.
Doesn't count. That does not count.
That doesn't count.
Eric Williams doesn't even pay attention to the NBA when it comes playoff time. So he's like anti-NBA, and I'm sort of
I will pay attention, and we'll have the scores and stuff when the playoffs start.
Yep.
When the playoffs starts, that's the same way I think for hockey.
Sure.
You're kind of a sports fan. You're kind of a hockey guy, so you watch a lot more hockey than the normal average Joe.
I am when my team is playing well.
Yeah. Yep. So then you space them off when they're not playing well?
Yeah, when we're as bad as we are right now.
When you suck, you don't watch nearly as enough hockey.
I tune out.
Yeah. So when the hockey playoff starts, we might give who's playing who and who won last night.
Sure.
But that's what happens when we don't have an NBA franchise in Nebraska.
We don't care.
We don't care. We don't have a hockey outlet. Nobody cares.
Mm?
We have our plate full with what we got.
Yeah.
We got to start talking Nebraska football about March.
Well, you get your early signing day, and then spring game rolls around, and spring game's going to be a big cut day. So yeah.
God.
That is our professional franchise. That's why we flock. That's why we're so passionate about this game called college football. And people from outside of Nebraska don't get it, but it's quite literally all we've got. And so we throw all of our passion into one baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're saying February is a bad sports month?
February sucks.
Ryan Martin says August sucks. I wouldn't say February sucks.
Playoff hockey is the best, especially Game 7 and overtime. That coming from the group chat.
Well, what month is that?
June?
Yeah. Same way with NBA basketball.
May and June? May and June.
June, we crowned an NBA champion.
Yeah, the season's hell. It started in October.
Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah, every season.
Well, I said that.
Baseball could go on forever.
I still think you and I, again, we are at each end of the spectrum on that. Baseball needs to wrap up by September 1st.
You could double it for
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend, baseball should be finished.
I agree that I don't like that it blends into football. I would be okay, especially because like October baseball in a lot of the Midwestern climates just doesn't work.
No.
And so you're delaying and you're delaying and you're delaying and you're delaying sometimes. I would agree that it can go by Labor Day, but I want more baseball.
I know you do because you live, breathe, and suck that.
I miss the good old days, as my dad used to say. I mean, they would play doubleheaders on the regular, where it would be day-night doubleheaders, and you could leave after school, bike down to Old Sportsman's Park, hop across the fence, and watch Major League Baseball for the rest of the day. That's baseball to me, man. And not this 7-hour start at 6:30, end at midnight.
Yeah.
9,000 commercials in between. No, man, just play the
168 games or whatever they play.
162.
That's too many. Slicer and a half, be done with the season by Labor Day weekend, and call it good. That's what I say for baseball. Anyway, 7:54.
Yeah, we're cruising.
Yeah, we haven't really haven't talked about much today, but we've talked a lot. We've talked a lot about nothing today.
We have that ability.
Yeah, we do. That's why we do what we do.
That's why we do the show.
7:54. Let's get a quick news update.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they've been lighting the way to financial success since 1946. You can access your accounts wherever you go with mobile banking, bringing you the financial peace of mind straight from the palm of your hand, where you can securely and conveniently manage your accounts and loans at any time from anywhere. transfer funds, deposit checks, pay bills with Bill Pay, and quickly access your account balances to help cover whatever little curveballs life throws your way with mobile banking today. It's one of the many ways you can experience the credit union difference. That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online at hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We'll start off this morning in the Hastings City Council chambers, where yesterday City Councilman Larry Consbrook apologized for making racially insensitive comments during the City Council work session last week. During a discussion on the city's proposed comprehensive plan about wages and affordable housing, Consbrook implied that Hastings residents of Hispanic race were partly to fault for the city's median income issues. He was called up on social media, and again yesterday, Consbrook apologizing for those comments. The Juniata Volunteer Fire Department responded to a grass fire yesterday afternoon. The fire was located near 42nd and Prosser Avenue. After battling strong winds, which led to a fire danger yesterday, the fire was extinguished after about 2 hours with no reports of any damages. And the Nebraska Library Commission has recently awarded Nebraska Library internship grants totaling $20,000 to 16 Nebraska public libraries. The internship grants will support public library interns who contribute to the scope and value of the diverse programs and activities in Nebraska public libraries. Of the 16, 2 are local that will receive the grant funding, with Shelton and Gibbon both making the list. It is now 7:56. We'll swing it to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's happening in sports?
Well, a lot of basketball, high school basketball around the area last night. The Centennial Conference basketball tournament got underway. The Kearney Catholic girls beat Lincoln Lutheran last night, 52-23, and Archbishop Bergen defeated Omaha Concordia, 54-43. So tonight, Bergen will play a top-seeded Lincoln Christian. St. Cecilia is at Aquinas. Newman plays at Grand Island Central Catholic, and Kearney Catholic is at Scotus. On the boys' side, Archbishop Bergen beat St. Cecilia last night, 69-32. Lincoln Christian defeated Kearney Catholic 57-24, and Bishop Newman knocked off Aquinas 73-44. In the quarterfinals tonight, Newman is at Grand Island Central Catholic, Boys Town is at Scotus, Bergen is at Omaha Concordia, and Lincoln Christian plays at Lincoln Lutheran. The Central Conference basketball tournament also got underway last night. On the girls' side, Columbus Lakeview beat Lexington, so the Vikings will move on to play at top-seeded York tonight. Other games, Crete is at Adams Central, Aurora is at Northwest, and Schuyler is at Seward. On the boys' side, Lexington beat Schuyler 76-48 last night. So the Minutemen will play a top-seeded Aurora tonight. In the other games, Seward is at Northwest, Lakeview is at Adams Central, and York is at Crete. We'll have the Adams Central games for you tonight here on Extreme Sports. Coverage begins at 5:15. That girls matchup between Adams Central and Crete will be at 5:30 tonight. Then the boys game between Adams Central and Lakeview will start at 7. We'll have both of those games tonight here on Extreme Sports. Again, Auburn, number 1 in the AP Men's College Basketball poll. Duke second, followed by Iowa State, Alabama, and Florida. Top 5 teams on the women's side of things have UCLA in the number 1 spot, followed by South Carolina, Notre Dame, USC, and Texas.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
The nicest day of the week is on the way today on Tuesday, but the trade-off will be some wind. Hey, everybody. Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV here. 58 is the high today. Plenty of sunshine, but we will have westerly winds gusting into the mid-20s today. Overnight tonight, 25 will be the low, mostly clear skies. 52 and sunny on Wednesday. As we get to the later in the week, Thursday will bring in a chance for rain, but we still stay in the 50s as we head into the weekend.
West winds this morning at 8 miles per hour. It's 26 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
You are listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports here this morning for this Tuesday. Again, we'll have some high school basketball tonight from the Central Conference Basketball Tournament out at Adams Central. Coverage begins at 5:15 this afternoon. So the Patriot girls and the Patriot boys in action tonight. High school basketball will have a tournament action coming up. This is kind of the next phase of things here. We move into the conference tournaments here this week. A couple of more regular season games left, and then, postseason basketball starts for the girls in mid-February. So we're going down the stretch, so to speak.
Yeah, hitting the far turn and heading for home on the high school basketball front. And, as we mentioned, conference tournament time already here, already upon us. And then before you know it, you'll blink twice and you'll be wrapping up in Lincoln in the capital city at the state basketball tournament and done on at least the winter sports side of things. And then we'll be lacing up the cleats and heading out to the Diamond for some baseball and softball action. So anxiously awaiting that. And of course, baseball and softball. Ooh, that means warmer temperatures. That means short season. I'm looking forward to it.
Weeks away, my man.
Just a few.
Of course, we got Groundhog Day coming up here. Is that February 2nd?
That is. It's February 2nd every year.
That's Sunday?
Sure. I don't know.
Let's see, February 1st. I don't have my calendar.
I don't keep a calendar. I just go by.
February 1st is. February 1st is.
February 2nd.
I know, but the 1st is Saturday, so that means it's Groundhog Day on Sunday this year.
Yeah, that's exciting. There you go.
Well, we got the rodent. He's coming out. He's coming out one way or the other.
Punxsutawney Phil.
I
remember back in the glory days, you would have to cover Groundhog Day, and you would have to announce if Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow or not.
Oh, they still do that.
I think it's stupid.
It is stupid.
It's dumb.
That's stupid. But it's a tradition.
It doesn't matter. It's always 6 more weeks of winter. It's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. It's always freaking cold. It's miserable, and I hate it. And the rodent sucks.
Yeah, he does. Anyway,
there you go.
I've got basketball tonight. I know there's nothing on the tube tonight that you want to see, so you might as well join me for basketball.
There you go.
Tonight from Adams Central.
Yep, it'll be better. Right now, the top broadcast would be Kentucky versus Tennessee.
Oh, that's all right.
Get out and watch some high school ball.
Kentucky, Tennessee is good. It'd be a good matchup tonight.
Top 12. Let's see. I think it's 12 versus 8.
Yeah, that's an all right matchup for a Tuesday.
Not bad.
So, anyway, thanks for joining us on Huddle Up at Extreme Sports here this morning. You can listen to this show again because it was a very informational show. Talked about a lot of things.
Covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, a lot of ground today. Nothing really earth-shattering, but we had a lot of topics we discussed today. So if you'd like to listen to us again, you can do so. Just go to our podcast section on the social media sites. You'll find the podcast section. If you got Roku TV, you can click on a link there and get a replay of the show as well. By the way, if you got Roku TV or any of the social media sites, our website, our mobile app will try to get you video the games tonight at Adams Central. So that's kind of a new feature we're messing around with. Gonna try her again tonight. So if you'd like to watch the games tonight from Adams Central, you can pick it up, the video feed, in addition to the broadcast at various sites on our social media sites. So something special for you tonight.
Something special? More and more and more.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us here this morning. We'll do it again tomorrow at 7. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning